Bernard Baseball here. We're back, baby. Episode 3, T2-O-Tuesdays. If you missed our first two episodes, go watch them when you're done here. It was a smashing success. Episode 1, Josh bought this awesome T2-O-6 Bobby Wallace card. He's a Hall of Famer. Josh got it with his birthday money. And in episode 2, I got this Roger Bresnahan T2-O-6 card. So episode 3, Noah, this one's all you, man. You're getting your first T2-O-6 card. Let's see what you got here.
Okay. What you got?
Oh, it's taped up good. You have to get them scissors out.
Hold on.
All right, rip it open.
See what you got, bro.
See what's in there, man.
Oh.
Show us. Hold it up. Who is it? T2-O-6 Seymour. Polar bear back. Let's see the back. Nice. Let Josh see it.
I think
This is a nice card, dude.
I think that. Which one's your favorite back?
Let me see it.
That back's nice, man.
Let's take
We
a
have
look
all.
at it
We
here.
have 3 backs now.
Here it is. Seymour.
Okay.
Let's look at the back. That's cool, man. So look at that. There's all 3 cards here. This is the first SGC one we got. I like that black SGC holder. All right, now we're checking out the backs of these things. And the reason we picked this Seymour is because it had a different back. Josh got the Sweet Caporal back the first time. We got the Piedmont back the second time. And now we got the Polar Bear, this cool blue Polar Bear back. I really like this back, man. That's an awesome back.
So let's vote which one's your favorite.
I'm going with the Polar Bear back. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
Polar bear.
Noah?
And Polar Bear.
Unanimous Polar Bear back. So, Noah, who is your favorite baseball player?
Babe Ruth.
Okay, so that's why we picked Seymour for your card, because he was basically, Babe Ruth before Babe Ruth. I mean, Babe Ruth was a great pitcher and a great hitter, and so was Seymour. He played for the New York Giants. In 1895 with the Giants, he won 25 games and led the league in strikeouts. And he didn't just lead the league, he blew everyone else away. The second place guy had 61 less strikeouts than him. And 7 years later, when he wasn't pitching anymore, he led the league in batting with a 377 average. Also led the league that year in hits, doubles, triples, RBIs, slugging percentage. And he finished just 1 home run shy of the Triple Crown. And that year in 1905, when he hit 377, that wasn't just the highest batting average for that season. That was the highest batting average of any season during that era. Nobody between 1901 and 1919 had a better batting average in a single season. And since they moved the pitcher's mound back to 60 feet 6 inches where it is today, they did that in 1893. Since then, the only player to have more pitching victories and more hits than him was Babe Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said he was kind of Babe Ruth before Babe Ruth. He came along before him. He was the first great pitcher who also was a great hitter.
All these guys back in the early 1900s pitched, dude, and hit.
Yep, all 3 of our guys here started as pitchers now. That's a good point, Josh. As a pitcher, Seymour used 3 pitches. He had a fastball, he had a sharp breaking curve, and he also had a screwball. Josh, you just actually learned a screwball, in the past 3 weeks maybe?
Yeah.
He's been throwing this screwball in practice, and
Seems filthy.
It does seem filthy when you locate it down and away, and we are coming out of the coronavirus lockdown. We have our first baseball tournament. Our first game is this Saturday coming up, and we're hoping to break out that screwball, and hopefully it's filthy and we can use it to win a tournament. Seymour, man, he terrorized hitters too because he was wild. He led the league in walks for those 3 years when he was a star pitcher between 1897 and 1899. And he pitched a lot too. He averaged over 300 innings a year for those 3 seasons. And in 1898, he pitched 3 whole games in 2 days against the Baltimore Orioles and manager John McGraw. He pitched the first game, and then the next day they played a doubleheader, and he pitched both of those games.
No pitch counts.
But by 1900, all that pitching had caught up to him. His arm was shot. Could have been from throwing that nasty screwball too, but he was no longer an effective pitcher. But even though he couldn't pitch effectively anymore, John McGraw gave him a shot to play outfield for his Baltimore Orioles because he remembered how tough Cy Seymour was when he pitched those 3 games in 2 days against him. So he ended up playing on the Orioles on the same team as Roger Bresnahan that we did last week's video on. Then after the Baltimore Orioles team broke up after the 1902 season, he signed with the Cincinnati Reds, where he had his best season as a hitter that great season in 1905 that we talked about earlier. In 1906, the Reds sold him to the New York Giants for $10,000, which at the time that was the largest monetary transaction in baseball history, and that reunited him with manager John McGraw, who was now managing the Giants. And back then in the early 1900s, man, they didn't have full-time base coaches, so the players would just take turns doing it. So Cy Seymour was coaching third base one game, and the base runner tried to run through the stop sign that Seymour gave him, and Cy Seymour just tackled him to the ground, man. And that's actually what led to the hiring of the first full-time coach in Major League Baseball history. John McGraw realized that, hey, I need to get somebody permanently coaching third instead of having these players doing stuff like that. So he hired Arlie Latham as the first permanent coach to coach third base. But Cy Seymour did not get along with this new base coach, man. He ended up punching him in the face at the team hotel, and that led to the Giants suspending him. And then when he finally came back from the suspension, he hurt his leg in the first game back, and then his career kind of wound down from there. He was never actually elected to the Hall of Fame yet.
It's crazy that he's not in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. No, I think he should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. And when you look at his pitching numbers for those 3 years when he was really a great pitcher, they were up there as good as anybody's. And then his hitting numbers were fantastic too when he was a hitter. I mean, he should be in. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we got 3 Hall of Famers on this table. I don't care if he's in or not. Maybe he will get in someday soon, but he's a Hall of Famer in my book. So we got 3 awesome cards, man, to start off T2-O-Tuesdays with. Thanks for watching our video. We will be back next week with another edition of T2-O-Tuesdays. I don't even know what card we're getting yet, so if you have any suggestions, leave a comment below. And I'm going to be ordering this card in the next day or two, so it's here for next week.
Please take our feel, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell. But now baseball, peace out.
Yeah!